shared our life journey with us. All those who are now in that fullness of spirit we call God. Oh, so grateful for all the love, for all the peace, for all the compassion, the compassionate hearts here today. Welcoming the newness of this day, welcoming the wisdom in the message that Kathleen shares with us, welcoming the beauty and the perfection and the inspiration of Sharon leading our choir today, welcoming in the perfection of Dan and all the technology that goes into making this service just perfect. Thankful for all those in sacred service today on the hospitality team. Yeah. Thankful for our Board of Trustees as they lead our community into the new year. So grateful for all of those members and all of those guests here today. Looking forward to this special ceremonies we have here today. Reflecting on the past and being open to the new, the newness of this day and the newness of the year yet to be, perfectly unfolding in divine order. It is with a grateful heart that I acknowledge the goodness, the good, and more good, which we call God. And together, let us join our hearts and say, yes, and so it is. Amen.
Director of the Center for Spiritual Living, Delaware. And I welcome you, anybody who's here for the first time, we welcome you. And for the rest of us, you are welcome as well. Today is a special day. I mean, we all have special days, but today we're going to be celebrating endings and beginnings. It's the end of the year. It's nearly the end, just one day away. And it's a great time to let go of the past, to release anything that may be hindering us from moving forward. So in other words, to prepare ourselves in consciousness so that we are ready for the new year and so that we can pave the way for new beginnings, for new inspiration, for new ideas, for a new version of ourselves. So I'm inviting you in this really beautiful sacred service, which is very different. It's going to be different from what everybody's used to, those of you who've been coming regularly. The order's different, and so we're just asking you to just flow with it and know that all is well. So what I'd like all of you to do to begin with is let's open our arms and repeat after me. I open my heart to the universe.
I open my heart to the universe.
Accepting love and healing.
Accepting love and healing.
I open my mind to the universe.
I open my mind to the universe.
Accepting clarity.
Accepting clarity.
And inspiration.
And inspiration.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Lovely. Okay, Dwayne has
to grieve over the loss of dear ones. We love them and cannot help missing them, but true realization of the immortality and continuity of the individual soul will rob our grief of hopelessness. We shall realize they are in God's keeping and they are safe. We shall know that loving friends have met them and that their life still flows on with currents of eternity. We shall feel that we have not lost them. They have only gone before us. So we shall view eternity from the higher standpoint. We shall see in everyone a budding genius, a becoming God, an unfolding soul, an eternal destiny. Join me now as we take a breath and drop into the silence within. From this awareness of a divine union, let us speak this truth together with conviction.
Om Shanti Shanti.
There we go.
The
The
good
good I desire, I already possess. That which I ask for, I now receive. That which I want and need, I now have. I celebrate my wonderful life. Is taking some time to honor our ancestors, to honor those who came before us and those who've made their, what we in Science of Mind, we say their transition, because it reminds us that they are eternal beings, just as we are, who are on an eternal journey. They have simply gone before us. So it is good and right that we honor them and that we spend some time focusing on what they meant for us, these whether they're family members or friends, and and at the same time, what I'd like us to focus on is that if we continue, or be aware of, is that if we continue to focus on what we've lost by them no longer being in our lives, we actually are dishonoring what still remains in our life. Does everybody get that? So in other words, if we are so focused on the hurt and the grief of losing someone, we can very easily miss all of the good that's going on around us in this current life. So instead of asking yourself the question, how can I go on in life without him or her, which we know leads to emptiness and depression and hopelessness, I'm inviting us to embrace gratitude. It's a very high vibration, but embracing the healing power of gratitude in this situation. So we can turn it around to, I give thanks for the gifts I've received from him or her. I give thanks for the gifts I've received from him or her. And once we've done that, then we can move on to, I give thanks for all the other things that remain in my life. And then you can start counting all of the blessings that you have. So this then puts the focus on the joy of all the good. And you see how that we can then take charge and become more of a master of our consciousness and move ourselves then into being a beneficial presence on the planet. Because the more that we focus on the good, the more of a benefit that we are, not only to ourselves, but other people. So we're going to be doing, this is the first time we've done this, so we'll see, we'll just all work together with this. We have a beautiful remembrance table here with lots of candles. There are 4 lighters, and you can walk on both sides. You can be on either side. So I'm going to invite people to come forward while we're playing the music, You Are the Face of God. I'm actually going to invite the choir members to come forward first in our memories. Today we can make a new decision, to release the past experiences and especially the unhealthy interpretations of it, and replace them with life-affirming, love-affirming thoughts, new interpretations that give us peace, and we know that will serve us better in the coming year. Romans 12:2 speaks to this so beautifully. And this is the Lamsa version. It says, do not imitate the ways of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your minds, so that you may discern what is good, acceptable, and perfect, what is the good, acceptable, and perfect will of God for your life. And since we know that all there is this one life, God, the divine, whatever you choose to call this presence, and that it is good and very good, that the will of the divine for our lives, I guarantee you, is good. It's more peace, more joy, more love, more abundant living. So let us take these next few moments then to renew our minds through doing an emotional and mental house cleaning. How about it? Ready? Okay, so the thing is we can't change anyone else. We can't fix anyone else, no matter how much we want to help them. We are each these individualized expressions of the divine with our own inner guidance, our own source within that piece of the divine that is within us that guides us and directs us. So the only person in the world that we can change is ourselves, and we do that by changing our thinking. We do that with a process called forgiveness. And forgiveness, when it's understood in its metaphysical viewpoint, is that it is replacing thoughts of error with thoughts of truth about a situation, about another person, or about our lives. It's replacing error thinking with the truth about who we are and what others are and what life is. So consider any habits that you want to change, that you've been wanting to change. Any attachment or unforgiveness for someone or something that you experienced this past year. An obsession that you want to eliminate from your mind and your life once and for all. Or perhaps it's an illness that you've been experiencing that you're really ready to let go of. Or maybe you're ready to let go of indecision or procrastination. Perhaps it's a paralyzing fear. Perhaps it's little annoyances or recurring doubts, or it could be a constant cynical attitude toward life. Or maybe it's just simply upset or being caught up in limitation, ideas of limitation and lack. Whatever it is, I invite you to write it down, and there are little squares of paper that on everybody's chair. If you need a pen, raise your hand, and Lisa and Jenny or one of those in the back has some pens for you. And so while we're playing some soft background music, Dan will do that for us. I invite you to begin writing, stream of consciousness, all that you're choosing to release.
Horizons by Sufi poet Hafiz. Leave the familiar for a while. Let your senses and bodies stretch out like a welcome season onto the meadows, the shores, and the hills. Open up to the heavens. Make a new watermark in your excitement and love. Like a blooming night flower, bestow your vital fragrance of happiness and giving upon our intimate assembly. Change rooms in your mind for a day. All the horizons in existence lie beside an equator in your heart. Greet yourself in your thousand other forms as you mount the hidden tide and travel back home. All the horizons in heaven are sitting around a fire chanting, while stitching themselves together into the great circle inside of you.
This past month, we have celebrated the birth of light. We know that all of the different world traditions have their own version of this idea of the light and the light within us when we look at it from a deeper level. So as we allow the light to continue to birth and rebirth in us, and in the Christian terms, it's the Christ potential, the Christ light. We're opening our minds and our hearts to the highest version of ourselves that we can possibly imagine. And because we are eternal beings, the unfoldment of our consciousness is eternal. We continue to evolve, to grow, to expand, and to unfold in consciousness. And so now that we've cleared the slate, we've prepared ourselves in consciousness, I'm inviting everyone to open to a higher vision, to open to divine inspiration, a new download of what your life is like in its next version. Because this isn't the last version that we're living right now. There are newer and newer versions of us that are being ready to be birthed, that are newly emerging. And so as we do this, I invite you to ask the divine to be your partner in this. Whatever that is for you. Take the concept, if you would, of co-creation. Co-creating with the divine as the divine, and the divine is flowing through you in your own individualized expression, and yet you are working with the grand artist of the universe in creating that next version of your life. So a higher vision, let the light within you lift you to a higher vision, a life of greater joy, greater fulfillment, greater success, greater peace, greater inspiration, greater success, whatever it is that you're called to summon forward. And see yourself all the while surrounded by a loving, friendly universe, a divine presence that wants the best for you, that is for you, that has your back. And know that its loving ideas, its loving presence is ready and available for you just simply by you allowing and accepting it to flow through you and into your awareness. So everyone has a piece of paper, and if you don't, raise your hand, that says My Life Vision, correct? Yeah? Everybody has one? And you still have your pens. So I'm going to lead you through a visioning process. Visioning is different from visualization. Visualization is often based on things that we've already experienced or things that our human imagination can take us to. This is more of a meditation. We pose questions and we go within and listen in the silence. And then we write down what comes through. And here's the thing, if nothing seems to be coming through, put your pen down and start writing stream of consciousness, and you'll be surprised. So just imagine that you have the co-creative partner of the universe. You have all possibility and potentiality available to you, and it's within you. And so open your heart. There might be some old dreams that you want to dust off that are ready to be birthed this year. Whatever it might be, I invite you now to close your eyes, go within, and let me get you started on this process. So I am knowing in this very moment that each and every one of us are surrounded with a loving presence. There's not God and something else. There is only God. God as our lives, God as the lives of all those who are in this room, God as the lives of everybody on this planet. And I know that our dreams are supported by the divine. So it doesn't matter what other people's dreams are. We don't have to worry about bumping into other people's dreams. We can simply allow our dreams to surface into our awareness and not have to worry about how it's going to happen, but simply write those dreams down and know that a universal intelligence that created this amazing universe, and we're also hearing multi universes and all different realms of existence, that same intelligence can very easily support the unfoldment of your vision, provide all of the hows and the ways and the means and the wherefores as we move through our lives, knowing that those come as little hits of inspiration and guidance each moment of each day. So let's just open our hearts, open our minds, and allow our greatest dreams to pour through and write them down as they come through. So the first question is, living from my authentic God self, in other words, my highest self, what is the highest vision for my life? What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? And the next question after that is, what am I to become in order to embrace to be a vibrational match to the vision? And what must I release or surrender or let go of to be a vibrational match of the vision? What attributes, talents, and capacities and gifts do I already have to assist the emergence of the vision? So I just invite you to contemplate those questions and write down what comes through stream of consciousness as we just allow the silence to support us. Our eyes, go within, take a breath. And I know in this very moment that the path is clear as we all consciously release anything that's remaining from our consciousness, anything that could inhibit, delay, deny, or obstruct the new vision from coming forth. I know that it is released right here and right now. And I also know in my heart of hearts that that which we choose to be that perfect vibrational match for the vision, is already seated in consciousness, seated in the soil of infinite universal presence, and that all of the powers and love and grace of the divine are actively working upon this vision even as I speak. Each one of us having planted the seeds of our new vision, I now know that we all continue in our awareness of ways to cultivate these seeds of a new vision by keeping our vibration high, by focusing on that which is good, and continuing to let go of thoughts that don't serve us, to read the ancient scriptures of wisdom that uplift us, or contemporary writers that are inspired, to take time for meditation and prayer, and to be in fellowship with people of like mind who help us keep our vibration high. And this is such a wonderful place to do that. So I just give my thanks. I'm so grateful for this beautiful awareness, this sweet, loving consciousness that is present in each and every one of us, and knowing that this new year, 2019, is one that is greater than we can even imagine. So I claim that something even this or something even better is in store for us. And I'm so grateful for this knowing, for this truth. I release this word to the omni-action of the universal law of God. And so it is.
Greatest Miracle in the World by Og Mondino. For how could one improve on a miracle? You were a marvel to behold, and I was pleased. I endowed you with powers unknown to any other creature in the universe, even unto this day. I gave you the power to think, the power to love, the power to will, the power to laugh, the power to imagine, the power to create, the power to plan, the power to speak, the power to pray, the power to choose. Choose to love rather than hate, laugh rather than cry, create rather than destroy, persevere rather than quit, praise rather than gossip, heal rather than wound, give rather than steal, act rather than procrastinate, grow rather than not, pray rather than curse, live rather than die. You are capable of many wonders. Your potential is unlimited. Who else among the creatures has mastered fire? Who else among my creatures has conquered gravity, has pierced the heavens, and has conquered disease and pestilence and drought? Never demean yourself again. Never settle for the crumbs of life. Never hide your talents from this day hence. Enjoy this day, today, and tomorrow, and tomorrow. You have performed the greatest miracle in the world. Each day you have been born again, and just as before, you can choose failure and despair or success and happiness. The choice is yours. The choice is exclusively yours. Choose to do all things with love. Love for yourself, love for all others, and love for me. Wipe away your tears. Reach out, grasp my hand, and stand straight. This day you have been notified. You are the greatest miracle in the world. And so it is.
Let, a little more enthusiasm, please. Yes. Okay, so then, according to your acceptance, it is done and it is so. And so it is.